Good morning, America. Some of you aren't in America, actually. Anyway, the sun is rising slowly. The moon is flying so low. Honey, you're my one and only. So pay me what you owe me. I don't know why that was going around in my head today. That's from Laurie Anderson in the 80s. 80s. I'm old. Anyway, we're out on a walk this morning, and it occurred to me how life's rhythms are different sometimes than how we want to organize them, right? Because the sun during the year gives us less and less light till it reaches a point, and then it starts giving us more light again. And we're coming off of the summer season where the days get shorter and shorter and shorter. I tend to wake up right about the time it gets light, which for most of the summer's been on the early side, like 5:36, around there. Today it was 6:30, and it's not like the moment the sun peeps over the horizon that I get up, but I wake up when it's starting to get light in my bedroom. And today that was a little later than it was this time last week. It was a little later than the week before, and at some point we're going to rename all the hours because we're weird and we rename hours. And that means that I will once again be getting up even earlier, because it doesn't matter to me what we call the hours. I just tend to get up when the sun comes up, and when it's dark I want to go to bed. I mean, you know, when it's getting dark at 3 or 4 in the afternoon, at some point I'm not sleepy. But in general, when it's dark I start calming down, doing the evening routines, and then get ready to read my novel and go to sleep. So that's all part of life's rhythm. And we've talked a bit about routine, because the other thing that I always do is walk the dogs in the morning. I do these recordings, and I also produce coffee for customers and all of the content you see coming out, and I prepare presentations for events and do coaching for people. All of that tends to be on a schedule by the hour. Like, I'll get back from this walk, I'll sit down at my table, and I'm going to look at my day. I usually do this the day before, but in the last 3-4 weeks I've been doing it after my walk because my head hasn't been clear enough at night to do it. And I draw out on a blank piece of paper the day and put things in, and then throughout the day I'll cross things off, and then I have a master list of big picture things I want to get done for the week. And once I draw that out, it's like between this hour and that hour I'm doing X, and between that hour and that hour I'm doing Y. And occasionally something interrupts me and I have to move something around. So at the end of the day, the piece of paper may look like arrow here and arrow there, and defer this to tomorrow. Like, it gets a little funky looking, but that's all, you know, founded in what time it is. Where in my natural body's rhythm is founded in what the sun's doing. Interesting, huh? Both of those are routines, by the way, and I think keeping your routine is really important to forward momentum, because it's so easy to just be like, never mind, I'll just sit here and flip through Facebook, although I hear that was hard to do yesterday because they were down. I never saw so much activity on Float.app as I have yesterday when Facebook was down. That tells me a lot of people on Float are still on Facebook, but suddenly Float is the place to be. Anyway, there was lots of laughing at Facebook, but also more people over there who don't usually spend time over there. Funny how that happens when a behemoth goes down. Anyway, the routine's important, I think, to your forward momentum, because it's incremental small steps that you take that build big change in your life. And sticking to routine is very helpful. I know some of you watch this and you're like, how in the world does anybody get up and go for a walk before they start their day so early in the morning, right? And others of you are like, man, she's late to the party. I get up at 4:30. It doesn't matter when you do the routine. It matters that you do the routine. And that means that if the time you wake up is 9 in the morning, fine. Get up and hit it. Don't get up and laze around till noon before you start working. Because I find that whenever I get up, if I get up and hit it, I get so much done in the first 4 to 5 hours of the day that, you know, the second part, it's important to keep trucking forward, but if I don't bang out those first 4 to 5 hours, things fail. And it got me to thinking this morning when I woke up a little later and I realized the hour I like to start is about 8:30 on some of the productivity stuff I work on. Sometimes I'm at the computer at 7:30, it just depends. And I like to be done by 5. Doesn't mean I don't pull a little extra here and there, but that's when I like to be done. I like to be flowing into household things like, you know, keeping up on the laundry and cooking good food and cleaning this and organizing that, and maybe working on growing some salad starts for my indoor grow system. Those sorts of things tend to happen after 5. But if the sun doesn't rise until 10, my butt's not getting up till 10 because I am linked inexplicably, or to, not inexplicably, that's the wrong word. Sometimes I use the wrong word. I am linked irrevocably to the sun's rhythm, and the sun's rhythm changes, and therefore so do I. That was my thought this morning. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give me a follow and a subscribe, and whatever that bell button is on YouTube. Share this with friends. Maybe check out my podcast at livingfreeintennessee.com. I have longer audio versions of homesteading, small business, all sorts of stuff that people like to hear. Random freedom musings. It's all over there at livingfreeintennessee.com. Make it a great week.